we're going over most of what's going on Raw and the problems with it. And one of the major problems are goddamn rated RKO. Now, I hear most of the on and off assumptions over the character, primarily of Matt Riddle being over discussion. Because as much as people want to say, oh, this has been the best act uh, that Orton's ever had, and Orton never had a better run like that. He's had better runs. He has better promos, and he had better matches. Or Edge carried it over because Edge was returning, and he was quintessentially a more influential draw than how Orton has been with these stupid feuds of Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy. And now forcing the factor into most of this is going into to get Riddle over. And I don't hate Riddle. I hope he does succeed because most of what's going on with WWE is they're botched a farm system, and when their farm system gets overrated over by the smart community, they're pushed over to the top until they know that they can't get themselves over. Then a minority of a fan base hyping these guys over when they can't even advertise themselves as top stars. These and Riddle is one of the quintessential downpours of this because all I hear over with Riddle, he's a legit athlete. I saw his NXT matches. This guy's all right, but he's just I guess an LA UFC retard. The guy doesn't act like a pothead. He barely behaves one. He barely even teases over. Other than, dude, I got my private stats, bro. He sounds like a slow kid. He does not sound like a pothead. Potheads could be intelligent, but also be unpredictable, or at least sound like they're in a different plane. That's usually what Rob Van Dam was. Like, he teased it, but he also showed that he was a mellow dude. He didn't always be like, hey, Randy, you want to build heart-shaped Randy? Randy, we're going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, Randy. Hey, Randy, coming around with his goddamn scooters and flying it over. And then people are like, he's good, all because he gave you the designed reaction. He made you think he was an idiot for forgetting his line. I don't know how that blurs over kayfabe or just makes him look more of a retard. It's not really doing much because now it just makes people outside of it feel like, wow, did he really mess up his line? Wrestling is fake. And for the actual fans that actually watch it more consistently, they're gonna be like, oh, this retard is messing over kayfabe, and I don't really get more of his character. RK-Bro is just Riddle dick sucking over what Orton does and barely getting over the fact and ripping on most of his moves. This thing been dragging over more aptitiously than actual tag teams like Heavy Machinery that broke up. Usos that are in a down a main event feud storyline on SmackDown. Whatever the Hurt Business had to break up for, and whatever in the hell has to be shifted over to get Riddle over. Riddle sucks. He has decent matches. This guy can't make an intriguing promo to save his life. He has alright matches. He's just really cringe over on the mic. You don't know the directive of it, and you always have these legit guys. I'm not saying that everybody has to be super serious all because they have the background outside of pro wrestling, but at least make it feel like they're supposed to be a realistic person. I'm not getting any reality about this. Watching RK-Bro makes me feel like this should be on the Saturday morning lineup. This cannot be on primetime TV, bro. I've seen my friends talk about my friend watch sports with his father, and he's like, "Oh, bro, I haven't watched wrestling in a minute. I think I'm gonna try to tune in on Raw because I heard you talked about it for a bit." So he literally watched, and his father is like, "Oh, this shit." He literally said that shit is retarded because he saw some blonde dude talking around with Randy Orton like he's some weirdo kid trying to be friends with the popular kid. Nobody wants to watch that. RK-Bro sucks. The most chemistry they could have teased over was at least something with Jeff Hardy, or at least they could have shown up like as two laid back pothead idiots. And it could have been more easier to get him over because these guys are like I guess the same wavelength. They're not targeting that with Orton. It's a basis foil for an obvious betrayal with something that obviously doesn't get over. I hate RK-Bro with a passion. Like this is like one of the reasons why most of us don't want to do watch-alongs or review it. It is atrocious to even understand why this is kept over on TV. And I am not trying to denounce most of the creative all the time, but I'm going to, because it sucks. What demographic are you hitching over with the audience here? Seeing a barefoot retard wearing a cap and riding over a scooter. That's already denouncing any credibility to take this guy seriously when it comes to beating guys like Drew McIntyre or Lashley. And then you force over storylines involving tagging Orton, where he's ripping off over the moves with no type of logic inclined over with it. I think Orton as well did the Bro Derek. They're not clinging over any character change with Orton. They're trying to tease over that, or like, it'll be bad for you if you wear the money. I don't give a I don't care. I do not care. RK-Bro sucks. Rated RKO was at least better because at least they were teased over to if you be in the main event feuds with DX. That was at least a directive to get two up and coming top stars over to feud with two legit names in the business. What are RK-Bro feuding over other than beating up the New Day all day and then going over these crap promos? What's the incentive? They're not targeting the tag team titles. I forgot. I think Styles and Omos are still the champions, and they're not bringing any derogative to push over any narrative. So watching Riddle and Orton is just getting gobbled over my throat. And this comes over to the factoid of most people in the internet community. They just force over, oh, these guys are gonna be good, bro. These, he's working you. Riddle is working you, bro. He's not making me watch. There's a difference between having a person that works me, but still gets me it gets me invested into watching the show. That was the whole derogative with the freaking pipe bomb. Everybody knew it was a work. They were just pulling over the bullshit to get Punk over. Like that's something that works you but gets you invested. I can't get anything with Riddle. I don't. He's not that interesting over as a character. He has alright matches, but he's just so bad over with his acting chops, and his his character is so concisely inconsistent that you don't even know if you don't know if he's an idiot, a laid back idiot, immature retard, pothead, or something sped. There's nothing really interesting about Matt Riddle. Hopefully they do something to at least force over him to turn heel over Orton and Orton turns babyface. I think that's the way they're gonna go over it come Money in the Bank. Other than that, I hate RK-Bro with a passion. Thanks for watching. That's it for me.